When Sayyidina Yusuf was interpreting for the king, that was related to his future job, because he was going to be the treasurer for all of Misr. So Allah gave him authority over all the money of the world at that time. That was an empire that ruled the world. So Sayyidina Yusuf gave some good advice, because Allah wanted him to be the ruler of all the finance of this earth. So when he came and gave the advice that, there's going to be a drought, save this, save that, put your grains aside for difficult time and for that. So the king was in his heart saying, this is good advice, I'm going to bring this man out and make him the treasurer of all the empire. So not only he was a treasurer of the dunya, and he was the commander of the sun, the moon and 11 planets. So these awliya and the mutasarrif, they control everything. There's not a check that's not signed by their hands. Not the money of anything on this earth moves without the mutasarrif signing. So they have an immense spiritual ability and authority. And not the sustenance that comes to an ant, nothing moves without these awliya and their signatures. And that's just the dunya. What Sayyidina Yusuf was teaching from the Bani Israel, that's not even comparison to Sayyidina Muhammad and Ummat al-Muhammad. That the sun and the moon and 11 planets are under their authority. The authority was so immense that Sayyidina Yaqub bowed down and kissed his feet. So when people say, there's no respect, don't stand for these people, what are you talking about? A Prophet of Allah bowed down and kissed his son's feet because his station for dunya and akhirah was immensely high because of ihtiram and respect. So means they read the Qur'an but they don't really read the Qur'an. So who is the one whom in charge of the sun, the moon and 11 planets? What we described in Surah Al-Qadr, بِإِذْنِ إِنَّا أَتَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ الْكَوْثَرِ أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح. That we send down from the angel upon the angel and the ruh bi'idhnillah, with the permission of Allah, kullun amr, every command. So we described before, the ruh is a Muhammadan haqqaiq. And which ruh is in charge of the sun? The station of the sun, because the station of the sun sends the entire tajalli to all the moon and the 11 planets. So now they found in the sun they see the photon of the sun travelling through the earth, the middle of the earth, and they say it goes all the way out to the 11th planet of our galaxy. This sun sends a signal like Wi-Fi. So it means the one whom is on that station, every command is flying out like a Wi-Fi through their Muhammadan soul. This must be immense. And the sun represents the heart. So means that representative, because that's not the spiritual station, that's still the physical station, that's not the spiritual, right? Because the one who's sitting on the sun is physical, is dunya. His physical station of his soul is taking commands from angels from his soul, and his soul's energy is moving like a Wi-Fi and sending the command from Allah in Prophet throughout entire creation. Every ant, every fly, every drop that is taking that photon all the way out to the 11th planet is delivering the commands from Ati Allah, Ati Rasul, and this is an ulul amr. So that's still the dunya. And then when they would ask Mawlana Shaykh that about stations and this and Sultan al-Awliya, and he said that there's somebody in authority of this dunya, this pyramid, but this not for me. Means this is small station. The one who rules this earth is a small station. Why? Because other shaykhs were describing, Shaykh Adnan would describe, oh he's the Sultan al-Awliya. But the people don't understand what that means. He's in charge of the heart, not of physical. So what does the sun do? Because the sun represents the heart. So the one in charge of the heart is also in charge of the sun. So it means that every khatar, every thought, every energy moving through the heart of creation to every creation, that every creation has a heart, is under his authority. So, but people get confused if you talk too much. Just, it's a immense world, immense gift of God's kingdom. You can't say no, because every time we say Allahu Akbar, Allah says, I'm even greater than that. So you can't even imagine Allah's kingdom, His might, His authority and the vastness of it. You can only speak a drop of it, but all of it is based on discipline, loyalty, good character and immense testing. So how can anyone think they go anywhere without any testing? Weren't the companions tested? Weren't the companions told Prophet did that, did this, do that? And then they would betray, not betray, they would go to battle, not go to battle, they would go somewhere for trade, all of a sudden it turned into a battle and Prophet for Ahlul Badr told them, I'm sorry, you can leave. We came for trade, now it became a battle, they're going to come to slaughter us. They said, we would never leave you. We would live and die at your side, we would never leave you. Means that this was the whole way that Prophet gave and taught, that life without testing and trials to see who are you, what do you stand for, what is it that you believe. If you don't do that, how do you know the grain of a man? You don't know his value and his worth if he hasn't been tested. If a little bit of testing and you find the person is running and jumping, then what's the value? Especially when we're describing the reward. If Allah is going to grant a vast reward, immense reward, then you can imagine then life is filled with testings. So to achieve these realities requires immense discipline, immense love. So then that person has to have an immense love, and as a result of the immense love they have an immense discipline for keeping the hudur. Means they can keep the presence and to keep the dress of the presence, inshaAllah.